So, good afternoon, evening, good afternoon, wherever it is you're watching, whatever time it is, morning, it could be lunchtime, it could be whatever. This is my second attempt at doing this stream. For some reason, it didn't want to let me go live earlier on. So, unfortunately, that's why I'm doing it now instead of about an hour and 10 minutes ago. But here's what it is. And I do apologise for everyone who sat waiting for about half an hour for me to go live, but it just physically wouldn't let me do it. So, there we go. Sometimes these things happen. But we are going to talk about the game, the press conference, for the game against Vitoria tomorrow night. We've done all right in this competition so far. We're currently sat top of the group, beaten Frankfurt and Standard Liège already. This is the third group game, arguably the weakest team. And it should be a formality, if I'm being honest. But I will be back later on this evening, tonight, to do the preview for that game. It might not be 9 o'clock. It might be a little bit earlier than that. Maybe 7 o'clock, 7:30, something like that, because I've got to get up about 4 in the morning to get down to the airport. So yeah. Anyway, let's get into it. He was joined by Rob Holding today, and Rob Holding spoke about a couple of things. They asked him about Martinelli. He said he never gives up as a centre-back. That's your worst nightmare, when somebody is running and just never gives up. Some of the headed goals he has scored in the games against Nottingham Forest and Standard Liège have been extremely good. He's very good friends with Emi Martinez, and he translates to him, but he's also picking up English very well, and he's making an effort, which is massively important. And he looks like he's got a good attitude, that Martinelli. I think he's going to go on to have a good career for us. I really hope he does. Anyway, he then was asked some random question about yoga. He said there's 6 of us that do it. Freddie does a bit with us as well, and he's been doing it since I joined. My mum got me Ryan Giggs's DVD, so I thought if Ryan Giggs is doing it, I should do it. Well, that's the sort of attitude we need from Rob Holding, so that's good. He was then asked about the Europa League, and he went on to say top 4 is more than within our capability. I want to win the Europa League first and foremost. We got to the final last year, but I was injured and I didn't get to play in it. Top 4 in Europa League trophy would be a brilliant way to end the season. He was then asked about the Sheffield United defeat. I'm not quite sure why they asked him that, because he didn't feature in the game, but there you go. People say we weren't up for the fight. We were. We're always up for the fight. Well, you're not. They didn't really bully us, I'd say. We just weren't switched on at one set piece. They had a deep block, and a 5 at the back is hard to get through, and we didn't. What Evra says doesn't affect me. I know what I am. What did Evra say? Because I genuinely don't know what Evra said. And when I read this earlier, I was like, what's he on about? So somebody let me know in the comment section in a minute, and that would be great. He was then asked about England. He said, I get asked this question quite a few times. I know I was close. If you're playing, you get looked at. I saw Southgate in the international break before my injury, and I spoke to Steve Holland, who was also said I was really close. I'm focusing on what I need to do, which is play football for Arsenal Football Club. If that happens, then it happens. He called Arsenal babies. Did he really? Oh, jokes. Well, listen, you can't really knock Evra. He was a quality player, and he played in winning teams. So, I don't know. Maybe we are babies. Unai Emery then came out and said that each match is very important for us to use different players. Tomorrow for the players and the team, and for me, this game is going to be massively important for us. You could literally copy and paste this from the last press conference that he done, couldn't you? We need a lot of players. We need a lot of players, and to use different players to achieve the best performance. Well, not necessarily, mate. You use the best 11, and the best 11 should be the best 11 week in, week out. Obviously, it's a different competition. I get it, but Premier League, it should be best 11 every week. We can make some changes for the Premier League and for the Europa League. It was then... I mean, why would you ask that question? Is this team better than Arsene Wenger's team? What's that? Well, I mean, what kind of question is that? Seriously. Like, who asked this question? I ain't even going to read the answer. It's pointless. It's obviously not better than some of the teams that he's had, is it? Let's be real. Is your back 4... Let me start that again. Is your best back four on the bench? We are improving defensively. We are receiving less goals. Well, we're not. I don't want to achieve the best defensive solution with one group of players. It's for all players. We want to be an offensive team. Our mentality is to be offensive. I am going to get that balance. Well, in 16 months or 18 months or whatever it is, you haven't found that balance and you haven't got a Scooby what your best 11 is, mate. So I don't understand. Listen, some of these press conferences are just boring. 238 people watching live, only 29 likes, and drive the likes up for me, please, people. And only about 600 odd people away from 30,000 subscribers. So massive support from all of you guys, as always. So thank you for that. He was then asked about the criticism and does it hurt? He said, I remember last year a very similar system, 5-3-2, and they can win the match against Wolverhampton, that was. Last year we lost 3-0 at Wolverhampton. On Monday, we lost to a penalty. Excuse me. If we scored one goal, maybe the result would be different. We had chances, but didn't take them. Our response could have been better, but the attitude and mentality was good. Did he watch a different game then? Because our attitude and mentality was piss poor on Monday. And I think what he's trying to say there is, well, Wolverhampton Wanderers came up and used a 5-3-2 and battered us 3-0. So we're getting better because we only lost 1-0 with the same system against us. I mean, what kind of rubbish is that? Afternoon, Paul. I hope you're good. And everybody else in the chat. I'll come back to some comments in a minute. He was then asked whether he wanted to sign Ceballos permanently. Again, another stupid question. He's not going to say, no, he's rubbish, is he? I mean, come on, who asked these questions? He said that very soon we'll be asking about the possibility of signing him permanently. I mean, there you go, the generic reply. And that was literally his press conference, another load of garbage. I don't know why I keep doing these videos, if I'm being honest. It's the same rubbish every week that he says. And like, you know, when he's coming out with stuff like, you know, we showed a good mentality on Monday. Did we? Really? I mean, what kind of game is he watching? Because we were absolutely rubbish on Monday. He said in that as well that we want to be an offensive team. Well, how about start being offensive then instead of playing so many defensive players? You know, how about try and stop this passing out from the back if you want to be offensive? How about start going long ball and direct a little bit more? Yeah, because that's when you'll become an offensive team. What do I know? Anyway, let's read out some of these comments. Big up everyone in the chat, by the way. I'm just laughing now because all the Wenger outs wanted to see this. So when I hear them moaning and crying now, I just laugh. That's what you get for treating our greatest manager like a fool, says Arsenal. Well, listen, I think he treated himself like a fool and the fans like a fool quite a lot of times. He actually blamed the fans for losses. So his time was done, man. Listen, let's be real. It was game over. I think we have improved in certain areas. Attacking wise, we're not better. Defensively, we're not better. From set pieces, we've become a little bit better, but obviously they're creeping back in again with a goal at the weekend, or Monday night, sorry. Excuse me. His tactics look all over the place at times, but at the same time, I'm still going to give him a bit of time. I'm going to see where it takes us by Christmas. Ace says he's talking in riddles. Yeah, I can't disagree with that. That question was worse than Emery's English, says Dylan. Mate, it's probably worse. It's probably worse than your Spanish as well, bruv. Io even says he's clueless. Do you know what? I've seen a lot of people hating on him, right? Even I'm hating on him at times, but I understand that it's not easy to come in and do a job, right? I understand that being a Premier League football manager is not an easy job, hence why they get paid millions of pounds to do it, right? But at the same time, when you've got your midfield so far wrong every single game of the season this season, and you've got fit players on the bench like Tierney, like Holding, that have been fit for a while now, and they can't even get a game, and you're playing Callum Chambers, excuse me, Callum Chambers and Socrates in defence, you know, or Kolasinac in defence and players like that. Listen, I just don't get it, man. I don't get it. How can we trust a coach employed by Ivan Gazidis, says Tony. Well, that's a great comment. That is a very good comment. I don't know. I don't think he'll be there next season. He might not be there by the end of this season. Lee Emery out 100, says Mac. Where's your pimp Chig, says Big Dog Linton. I'm sure he'll pop up at some point. What do you think about Brendan Rodgers or Eddie Howe, says John Shea. I don't want Eddie Howe. I don't think he's good enough. Brendan Rodgers, yeah, I'd take him. I would take him. When you are not playing your best players week in, week out, there's something wrong with you, says Kelvin. Well, yeah, this is the thing. You're playing players out of position, which is something that we all criticise Wenger for. You're not playing your best players, which is something that Wenger did. But it was just, I don't know, man. Listen, I think we've got better in some areas, but defensively, we're still shocking. And that's down to the midfield. It's not so much down to the defence. It's more down to the midfield, not having that cohesion and that balance to help track back and help fight for the ball. You know, when you've got Granit Xhaka in the midfield, you're automatically down to 10 men, aren't you? Let's be real. Then if you throw in the likes of, I don't know, say Joe Willock when he's not playing well, like the other night. He was shocking the other night. I'm not going to get on his case. He's a young lad, but if you're good enough to play for Arsenal, you step up and you do it week in, week out. I understand these young kids are going to stumble and fall over every now and again and trip up, and it's going to be a long battle for them. But at the same time, why start him in that game? Or why, I don't know, why not start Torreira in that game instead of him? Somebody who's got a little bit more experience, that's played Premier League football, more games than Willock. Somebody that's combative. They're going to be up against a fight in midfield. And he looked out of his depth the other night, Joe Willock. That's not to say when we play Vitoria tomorrow night that he's not going to look fantastic. Or when we play at home against somebody else, Crystal Palace, maybe he'll look fantastic. But in an away game against a team that are going to battle for everything, they're fighting for their lives to stay up. And they're looking very good at the moment. They're joint level on goals conceded with Liverpool, who are top of the league by a country mile at the moment. So it was never going to be an easy game. So to throw in some of these young kids into that game was probably the wrong decision in itself. But like I said, he gets paid a lot of money to make these decisions. And if he don't get them right, he's getting sacked. Apparently he doesn't play Bellerin, Tierney and Holding just in case they're still injured. Yet Holding's been back for a month and a half, says Rashi. Well, there you go, bruv. He has. He's been back over 6 weeks. Tierney's been back for a while now as well. Bellerin I can maybe get if he's not fit enough to get in squads. And then listen, he had the biggest injury out of the three of them, I think. So maybe it is best to be cautious with Bellerin. But the other two, why not play them? They've played a lot of under-23s games. They've played the League Cup games. Why not play them? Xhaka has to improve his form, otherwise he can't be starting. Well, he'll start anyway, King Bash, because that's what Emery does. Martinelli is better than Saka, but people are more loyal to Saka because he's an academy product. I couldn't agree more with that, if I'm being honest, mate. We do tend to side with the academy players a hell of a lot more. But Martinelli is looking like he's a better player at the moment. But I think Saka's a good player, don't get me wrong. 390 people watching live. I'm going to wrap this up in about 7 minutes. So do like the content. Subscribe if you're new. And make sure you come back and watch the stream later where I'll be doing my preview for the game. Don't forget that will be out later. It'll probably be a little bit earlier than 9 o'clock because I'm going on holiday tomorrow. Taking my little one over there to Mallorca. So she's buzzing. She's being good as gold right now, isn't you? Yeah. You're just not allowed to talk when I'm on camera. You got to sit there and be quiet, isn't you? Yeah. But who is your favourite player from the 90s Italian player? From the 90s, there was a lot of Italian players in the 90s, bruv. Taib. I don't know, mate. There's too many to pick. Way too many to pick. I'd have to say probably Del Piero. Thank you, Elliot, for your donation. Surely Mesut Ozil starts home game. He can buy his wife some new Vitoria secret lingerie. Also, I've stopped listening to the conferences. Do you know what, right? I'm not so sure he is going to start. I really don't think he will. I don't know. Did he start? He didn't start the last one either, did he, against Standard Liège? So I don't know, mate. And yeah, the press conferences are getting as boring as Wenger's, if I'm being honest. So yeah, he just talks in riddles, mate. Big up Mike Dean in the building. Only thing Emery does tactically is pass out from the back, and that is rubbish. His substitutes used to be good. The way he used to change formations mid-game used to be good. He's starting to lose a little bit of that. Like I said, against Sheffield United the other day, Aubameyang was up front. He brings Lacazette on and puts Lacazette up front. He then puts Aubameyang left wing. He then brings Martinelli on and puts Aubameyang right wing and puts Martinelli left wing. So in the space of 10, 15 minutes, Aubameyang's played 3 positions. It's like, bruv, what are you doing? Like, seriously, what are you actually doing? He then put Bukayo Saka at number 10. Like, what's that all about? Sack the manager. Wow. You're a Man City fan anyway. So, yeah, we'll have your manager. We're sacking. We're swapping for Pep, yeah? Do you think our away form will improve, says Amir Youssef? It's got to. At some point, it's got to spin round, isn't it? Is that going to be with this manager? I'm not so sure. I don't know. Is it going to be with this crop of players? Because some of them are still not good enough. Kolasinac, Mesut Ozil, Granit Xhaka, they shouldn't be starting for Arsenal because that ship has sailed. It's done. It's finished. Bye-bye. If we want to progress and we want to go on and challenge, we've got to get rid of them players. You know, Callum Chambers, for me, yes, he's done well this season so far, apart from the other night. Not good enough. He's not good enough for Arsenal. He'd look good at an Everton or somewhere like that. No disrespect to them, but it'd look good playing for them. For us, nah, not for me. 442 Diamonds says everything sports ES. Tierney, Holding, Chambers, Bellerin, Ceballos, Torreira, Ozil, Pepe, Laka, and Abba. We played a 4-4-2 a couple of times last season. We've done very well with it. I don't know why he stopped using it, but there we go. What is Emery smoking? Says Zep. Maybe he's had a little blaze on one of Troops' blunts. Some of that high grade. Even our home form looks suspect. Bournemouth, Villa and Burnley all look good versus us, says Elliot. Very true. We were actually kind of lucky in all 3 of them, weren't we? Especially the Villa game. Jesus Christ. Baggio, Vialli, Totti, Simeone, Inzaghi, Signore. I can go on all day, mate. There were so many good players, weren't there? Yeah, so many good players. And then if you add in all the players that played in that league, like Batistuta and players like that, man, unbelievable players, mate. That was when the Italian league was pucker. It was a good watch. It used to be on Channel 4 over it every weekend. But then I think it was James Richardson used to present it. And then they just stopped it because obviously money comes into the game and kills it. Pepe needs to hit the gym. I reckon you should take him South London's finest. Take him with you, bruv. Jose didn't play his best players at United either. He preferred players like Matic and Fellaini and Pogba and Herrera, says Whack. Yeah, he did like Fellaini. I can't even lie, and Matic. Batistuta was insane. Bruv, he was a sick footballer, man. Absolute baller. I'm going to wrap this up in about a minute and a half. I will be back later. It'll probably be about 7:30. Before the Champions League starts. So I'll be doing my preview early. Like I said, I'm away on holiday tomorrow. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that. I'm going to read out 3 more comments. Lee, you are the GOAT of YouTube. Thank you, Rickon. I do appreciate kind comments like that. Evening, Omar. Hope you're good. Right, let's do 2 more comments. 2 more. Understand not playing Holding or Bellerin yet. ACLs are the most recurring injuries, says Jeremiah. Yeah, I do understand, but when Holding's been back for 6 weeks, 6.5 weeks, something like that, he should be starting. As for Tierney, I don't know why he's not starting. One more comment. One more comment. Come on, give me a good comment to read out. Tasno, evening to you, bruv. I understand Emery not playing his best 11 yet. Listen, bruv, thank you very much to everyone in the chat. Pick up yourselves. Thank you to 410 people still watching. Smash the granny out the like button before you all duck out of here. And I'll be back at 7:30 for the preview and my starting 11. So that should be fun. Keep your eyes peeled for that. Laters, peeps.